Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. A wonderful evening. In fact, it's already 10 o'clock. It might be the sleeping time for a lot of people who are not preparing for CAT 2026, but we are preparing for CAT 2026. So that is why we are awake. We all are in our senses while we'll be attending today's session. Now, before we'll start with today's session, I must tell you that we have already had one session in which I have told you or we have discussed some of the important things that we require to do good in data interpretation, right? Okay, so we have already seen those things earlier in our classes, right? Now, today we are going to continue from where we have left in the last class, and today we are going to take up the very important thing that is in data interpretation, how to handle different types of data sets. All right. So friends, a very good evening to all of you. Warm welcome. Before we begin with today's lecture, let's have a look at one of the very important announcement for all of you. The students who are planning to take MHCT, Maharashtra CT exam this year, right? Now, MHCT, which is almost here, like not very far away from today. So, this particular test series, I would say 3 full-length mock tests are designed for all the students who are preparing for MHCT. So, in this session, I don't think so anybody will be preparing for MHCT, but anyone who is watching this lecture and preparing for MHCT, so go ahead and enroll for these 3 full-length mock tests for MHCT, right? Now there will be detailed solution after every test. Unlimited re-attempts to improve your performance will also be provided, and smart performance analysis will be there, which will be overall subject-wise, chapter-wise, as well as topic-wise. All right. So go ahead, and what you can do is you can try the first mock absolutely free. Okay, so go ahead and just be a part of this particular package, which has 3 full-length mock papers for MHCT, right? Now, focusing on today's class, a very good evening. So who all have joined us? So Khushi has joined us, and Ananya, Himani, and right, so these students have joined us. And I must tell you that today we are going to start with handling the actual data sets. Okay. Now, when I talk about data sets in data interpretation, so data sets basically are the form in which the data is given to us. Okay. Now, the data that will have to handle, the data that will have to interpret can be in the form of a table. It can be in the form of a bar graph, line chart, a pie chart, or there are different miscellaneous data sets. Now, when it comes to miscellaneous data sets, it can be a triangular chart, it can be a spider chart. Spider chart is a common name given to pentagonal or hexagonal charts. Okay, there can be bubble charts, there can be scattered charts, it can be a candlestick chart. So there are lots of variety of data sets or lots of ways in which the data can be given to us. Now, since these classes are concept builder classes, so we'll be starting from the very basic set, basic data types. Okay, so in these classes, in the upcoming classes, we'll be handling the basic data sets like tables, bar graph, line charts, pie charts, etc., etc. Okay, so like I always say that since like we want to crack CAT, and if our fundamentals are weak, we'll not be able to do that. So at the initial stages, we are focusing a lot on, I would say, the fundamentals, the basics. Okay, right? So, sir, क्या ये class CAT वाले attend कर सकते हैं? Khushi, this class is meant for the students who are preparing for CAT. Okay, so the announcement that I have made, this is for MHCT exam. Fine, you can go ahead. But this lecture is specially designed for the students who are preparing for CAT 2026. All right. Good evening, Neeru. Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you, sir? Sangram, I'm very well. Sir, ये तो CAT की है ना class? Yes, Neeru, this lecture belongs to the students who are preparing for CAT. So the page that I showed, the slide that I showed, that was just a small announcement for the students who are preparing for MHCT. But yes, today's class is for the students who are preparing for CAT 2026, right? Now, like I said that today we'll be dealing with the basic data sets, and today's topic is tables, right? So we'll be taking up some questions, right, in which the data will be given in the form of tables. Now, tables is the easiest way of handling the data. So we don't have any kind of difficulty when it comes to picking up the values from the table, understanding the data, or interpretation of the data. So one such data set is given on your screen. So let's have a look at this, and then we'll move on to the questions one by one. So analyze the complete data that is given on the screen, and if you are fine with this data, if you don't have any kind of problem in understanding whatever is given to us, okay, then please post okay or done or yes, anything. Just acknowledge in the chat box that you have understood the data so that we can move on towards the questions. Okay. All right, Sangram, thank you. Aishwarya, all right, I have seen your message. And Khushi. Yes, other students, I'm waiting for your acknowledgement if you have understood the data. So please write yes, okay, done, whatever. Acknowledge by writing something in the chat box that you have understood the data. In case you have any difficulty in understanding this data, then go ahead, tell me what problem are you facing. Yes, Ananya, you just analyze this data. Okay, are you able to understand or not? All right, Chaman, maths 60. Okay, you know this. Very good. All right, Neeru. Hello, Divyansh. All right, you're done. So let's have a look at this data. Let's try and understand what all is given to us. So the following table represents the marks obtained by 5 students out of 100 in 5 different subjects. So in the first column, we are given the name of the students. A, B, C, D, and E are their initials. So I'll be calling them with their initials. Okay. Now, for these 5 students, subjects are Hindi, English, Maths, Science, and History. The marks of 5 subjects are given, and the total marks for each subject, the maximum marks for each subject is 100. All right. So in the next 5 columns, you are given the marks of these 5 students in these 5 different subjects. Now you can see that some of the values are missing. Okay, so like Aman's English and history marks are missing. Similarly, Biman's Hindi marks are missing, and so on. So some of the values are missing, and the game is finding these values. Okay, so you might be given some more information, or you will be given some relations using which you will be able to find out some of the values which will be later asked in the question. Okay, fine. Now there is one more column that is given, which is average. Okay, so for every student, the average of these 5 subjects is also given. Okay, so this column is average. So we can say that Aman's average score in these 5 subjects is given as 56. Okay, so one more information is given. Probably using that information, you will be able to find out the marks of some of the students. So you'll be able to fill in some of the values. So can you tell me, just by looking at this table, can we find any number? So one of the students has already told me, I want all of you to work on that. Can you tell me the marks of any of the student in any of the subjects using this information that is right now given on your screen? Bhavni Das has given. So Sangram also says marks of C in maths, and that is 60. So two of the students have given me this number. Okay. Now how we can do this? Now if I look at the data for Aman, so Aman's marks in two subjects are missing. So there are two missing values for Aman. Similarly for Biman, marks in Hindi as well as average marks are missing. So once again, two values are missing for the second person. But for the third person, only one value is missing. And yes, we will be able to find out this number. Okay, so let's see how we'll be finding out this number. Now we are given the average of Chaman. Now average of Chaman is 64.5. I'm talking about the third person, Chaman. So I'll write it here. So I'm talking about Chaman, and Chaman's average is given. So if average is given, we can find out the sum using the formula. Average is equal to sum divided by number of terms. Okay. So today we'll be working on basics, and the first set will use the concept of averages, simple averages. Okay. So for Chaman, we know that the average is 65.4. So for Chaman, sum will be equal to 65.4 multiplied by 5. Okay. Now why I multiplied by 5? Because I'm finding out the sum. Sum will be average multiplied by the number of terms. Average is 65.4, which is given, and the number of subjects is 5. So what will be the sum of all the subjects for Chaman? Kitna? How much? How much will be the sum? Come on. How much will be the sum? I'm waiting for your answers. Absolutely, Sangram. 327. 327. Okay. Now, from 327, which is the sum of the marks in all the 5 subjects for Chaman, I'll have to subtract the marks of Hindi, English, Science and History. So if I'll add Hindi, English, Science and History for Chaman, what will I get? 60 plus 60 is 120. 120 and I'll say 140, that is 260 plus 7, 267 minus 267, and that comes out to be 60. Okay, so we can say that we have got one value, that is 60, the marks of Chaman. Okay, now similarly, you're telling me that for A, English plus history is 125 and so on and so forth. Okay, now all of you please stop. Don't do anything right now. Okay, now stop. Whatever you are doing, just stop doing whatever you are. Okay, now we need to understand one thing. Whatever we are doing, should we do this thing at the beginning or not? As in, we just calculated the marks of Chaman, and some of the students are telling me Aman's marks in English and history, the sum of these two marks. Similarly, we can find out the sum of the marks of Biman. So Biman, we cannot find sum of the marks because average is not given. So we'll ignore that. For Daman, Hindi and history are missing. So we can find out the sum of the marks of Daman in Hindi and history. But my question to all of you is, should we spend this much time, or should we spend whatever time in finding out the relation between these numbers, or should we directly jump on towards the questions? This is my question to you. Come on, tell me. What should we do? All right. So Sangram says, no, not at all. After seeing requirements of the question. Absolutely. So I 100% agree with you. So we should not be wasting our time in calculating these numbers. It may be possible that we don't require the marks of Chaman in maths in any of the questions. Okay. So if we'll work on this entire table and let's say devote 3 minutes or 4 minutes time in doing this, and later on we get to know that these numbers were not required, or some of these numbers which we have already calculated were not required. then what we are doing, we are just wasting, we ended up wasting a lot of time, and that is precious in the exam. Okay, so when you have such a straightforward data, okay, then in that case, no need to spend time on data, and you must directly jump on to the questions. So this is the very first important learning while we are solving the questions of data interpretation. I'm talking about data interpretation, not logical reasoning. So while you are solving the questions of data interpretation, or let's say you start solving a particular set of data interpretation, just have a glimpse of the data. Okay, just have a look at what all things are given and try to jump on towards the question as soon as possible. Okay, so we'll do the same thing and I'll erase all the data. Let's say nothing was given and we have just started this set. Okay, so let's forget about whatever happened in the last 10 minutes. That was a part of learning. And let's assume that we have just started this question. So let's read the data. So following table gives the marks of 5 students in 5 different subjects. 5 students, 5 subjects, some values missing. Average is also given. In some cases, average is also missing. That's it. You just need to spend 10 seconds, 15 seconds, maximum 20 seconds if the data is as simple as this data. Okay, so let's now jump on the first question. The first question on your screen now, the entire table is present. Now, I'm again telling you that initially the level of difficulty will be low, and slowly and gradually in the next few classes, in the next few weeks, in the next few months, we will be raising up the level of difficulty. Okay, so I'll be taking care of each and every student. Okay, so the students who cannot find out the relationships in different cases at the basic level, I'll be helping those students, and slowly and gradually will be increasing the level of difficulty. Okay, so come on, quickly give me an answer for this one. Finish it off. All right, Bhavani Das has given the first answer. Okay, first one to give an answer. Nice. Waiting for others. Now the question says that if the ratio of marks obtained by Daman in Hindi and history was 3:4, then what was the ratio of marks obtained by Daman in history and marks obtained by Chaman in history? Yes, only one answer up till now. Okay, so now I've got the second one. Sangram has given an answer. I'll give you ample time. So Bhavani and Sangram says option D is the correct answer. And the other two students, Ananya Khushi, says option C. Now Mansi says option D and Neeru says option C. So 3 contenders for option C and 3 contenders for option D. The answer from 6 students. Lovely, lovely. Chaliye, let's have a look at this. Let's understand how to solve it step by step. The ratio of marks obtained by Daman in Hindi and history, the ratio given is 3:4. Now let's check about Daman. We don't have marks in Hindi for this person as well as marks in history. We have two missing numbers. Okay. And their ratio is given. So we have the ratio from the question and we can find out the sum of these two numbers from the table. Okay. So let's start working on Daman. Now Daman's sum will be equal to, please write it in the chat box. So Daman's sum will be 67 multiplied by 5. 67 multiplied by 5. Okay. So that is equal to 335. Okay. This is the sum of the marks of Daman in all the 5 subjects. Now we have Daman's marks in 3 subjects, 80, 80 and 70. So 80 plus 80 is 160. 160 plus 70 is 230. So Daman's marks in Hindi and history put together will be equal to 335 minus 230. That comes out to be 105. Okay. Are we good up till this part? Neeru and Khushi, wonderful, lovely. Mansi, very good. So keep writing these numbers. So just before me, you must write all these numbers in the chat box. Very good. Impressive. Now, Hindi plus history, I'm able to obtain that it is equal to 105. Also, the ratio of Hindi and history is 3:4. So what I'll do is, I'll assume the marks in Hindi as 3x and marks in history as 4x. Because the ratio is 3:4, I'll assume 3x and 4x as these numbers. Okay, this is one way. So 3x plus 4x is equal to 105. 7x is equal to 105. And the value of x comes out to be, you can calculate the value of x, that will be 15. If the value of x is 15, now we can write the marks of Daman in both the subjects. Okay, so Daman's marks in Hindi becomes 3x, that is 45, and marks in history becomes 60. So 45 and 60 are these two numbers. Okay, done? Perfect. Now let's go ahead and see what else is given, or what is the question, what is the thing that they want us to find out. Okay. Now the second part says, what was the ratio of marks obtained by Daman in history? So Daman in history, I have to find out the ratio of Daman in history and Chaman in history. Okay. So Daman in history is how much? 60 marks upon Chaman in history. So Chaman in history. So Chaman in history is 72. Now after this, you can take over and tell me what is the final answer. Option C or option D. Go ahead, tell me. So 60 upon 72, simplest ratio, we can take out 12 common from here. So 12 into 5 is 60, 12 into 6 is 72. So the ratio of these two marks, Daman in history and Chaman in history, will be 5:6. So the required ratio is 5:6. The correct answer is option D. All right. So D is definitely the correct answer. Done with first question. Let's quickly jump on to the second question. But before I'll move on to the next question, I would ask the students who have given option C as the answer, do you have any question? Do you have any doubt? If you want to ask, go ahead. If you are clear, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead. Come on. So if everything is clear, just write yes in the chat box. Everything is clear. And I'll move on to the second question. Very well. Great. So let's look at the second one. again based on ratios and the concept of averages. So ratios are given in the question and averages are mentioned in the table. So combination of ratios and averages. Explain again in short. Ananya, I'll quickly do that. Okay. So Ananya, follow the red color mark. Okay. Now ratio of marks obtained by Daman in Hindi and history. So Daman's Hindi and history were missing. Okay. The ratio of these two subjects is given. Okay. Now for Daman, what I can do using table first of all. So in the table, Daman's average is given. Okay. So Daman's sum will be average multiplied by 5, 335. After this, Daman's marks in 3 subjects were given. So 80 plus 80, 160, 160 plus 70 is 230. So out of 335, if I'll subtract 230, I'll be left with 105, which will be the sum of marks in Hindi and history. The remaining 2 subjects, Hindi and history. Okay, done. So Hindi plus history for Daman is 105. Also, the ratio of Hindi and history is given 3:4, wherein I'll assume Hindi and history as 3x and 4x respectively. So 3x plus 4x will become 105. Hindi plus history is 105. So from here I'll get the value of x and substitute the value of x in 3x and 4x. From here I'll get Daman's marks in history, which is 4x, 4 multiply 15, that is 60. Done. So whatever ratio I have to find out now, Daman's marks in history, I have calculated Daman's marks in history, which is 60, and Chaman's marks in history is already given in the table, 72. Simplify this ratio, mark the answer, move ahead. Okay, I believe it is absolutely clear. Now look at the second question. Now for second question, a lot of you have already given the answer. Some of you, 2 of you have already given the answer. Nice. Manzi is also up with the answer. Ananya, no problem at all. Neeru, very good. So option C is the common response that I have got from all of you. So let's start working on second question very quickly. The ratio of marks obtained by Aman in English and marks obtained by Chaman in maths is 5:4. So let's see if any one of these two numbers is given in the table. So Aman in English is missing, and Chaman in maths is also missing. Okay, right? Chaman in maths is also missing. But as we have already discussed, the part that I told you to forget, let's recall that. Chaman's marks in 4 subjects are given and Chaman's average is also given. Okay, so let's first of all work on Chaman. Okay, so Chaman's sum will be 65.4 multiplied by 5. This will be the sum of his marks. Okay, this comes out to be 327. Okay, now this is the sum of the marks of Chaman in all the 5 subjects. But for Chaman, 4 subjects are given, and this was how much did we calculate? 120, 260, 267. So 327 minus 267 will be the Chaman's marks in maths. That is 60. Okay, right? So from the table, we are able to calculate Chaman's marks in mathematics. Okay, done. Now let's go back to the question. Aman's marks in English divided by Chaman's marks in maths. The ratio is given as 5/4. Okay, I don't have the value of Aman's marks in English, so let it be as it is. But I have Chaman's marks in maths, which has already been calculated as 60. Okay. Now I have equated the ratio, do cross multiplication, get the value of Aman's marks in English. That's it. The question is over. Okay. So Aman's marks in English will be 60 into 5 divided by 4. That is, I believe, oh, wait. Find the marks obtained by Aman in history. Oh, Aman in history. So the question is not over yet. So Aman's marks in English has been calculated now. Done? So Aman's marks in English, that means this number, I have 75. Now they are asking about Aman's marks in history, the next missing value for Aman. Okay, right? So the job is not over yet. So let's start working on Aman. So can you tell me the sum of the marks of Aman? What is the sum of the marks of Aman in all the 5 subjects? Give me the number in the chat box. So that is, how much is the average? Average is 56. Multiplied by 5, that is 280. Okay, this is the sum of the marks of Aman. Now, Aman's marks in history is required. So, Aman's marks in history will be equal to his sum, that is 280 minus the sum of the scores in the given 4 subjects. So, what all numbers I'll have to subtract? 65 plus 75, that is 140. 140 plus 50, 140 plus 50, 190. 190 plus 40, that is 230. So 280 minus 230, the answer comes out to be 50. The same thing we are doing repeatedly. Okay. So the correct answer is, Aishwarya, correct answer is option B or option C. Again, tell me, 280 minus 230. 50, I believe 50 should be the answer. Aishwarya, 50 should be the answer, not 40. All right. So I have done the entire calculation. So 50 should be the answer, not 40. Am I clear? So Aishwarya, am I clear? Yes or no? Calculation mistake. Okay, so now you can rectify the mistake and we'll move on to the third question. Now this is slightly lengthy. Okay, lengthy as compared to the previous questions, but not at all difficult. Okay, so you just need to follow whatever is given line by line, word to word. Okay, and you'll get the answer. There should not be any kind of problem that you'll face. It's just the time that you need to put in. Otherwise, question is easy, straightforward. Come on, people, come on. Give me the answer. Yes, Arzu, live class. Are you surprised? Okay, tell me, people, where have you reached? So, Khushi, Tanishka. Okay, Tanishka has given the answer. Khushi, Tanishka, Aishwarya, Mansi, Neeru, Aishwarya, Sangram. Come on, tell me, where have you reached? So, what all numbers you have already calculated? So, we have answer from one student, Tanishka. Tanishka has given an answer. So, DPP hard लग रहे नहीं बन रहे 5-6 questions हो रहे. Okay. Arzu, beta, you need to increase the amount of practice. In case you are unable to understand a few things, then go back and look at the class once again, okay? And then go to the DPP, okay? All right, let's start working on this question. If the marks obtained by Biman in Hindi, so Biman in Hindi is 20 more than marks obtained by Daman in history. Daman in history. Okay. So the relation between these two numbers is given. So this number is 20 more than this number. First thing. Second thing. The ratio of marks obtained by Biman and Daman in Hindi. Biman in Hindi and Daman in Hindi. The ratio is given as 16:9. Okay. Then we'll have to find out the average marks obtained by Biman. So average marks obtained by Biman. So for Biman, if I talk about the 5 subjects, the marks in Hindi is missing, that's it. And the marks in other 4 subjects are given. So to find out the average of Biman, we just need to find out the marks obtained by Biman in Hindi. Okay. And we are given 2 different relations to calculate the marks of Biman in Hindi. So let's use them one by one. Okay. First of all, the marks obtained by Biman in Hindi is 20 more than marks obtained by Daman in history. So Daman in history, whatever he has obtained, this is 20 more than the marks of Biman in Hindi. This is first thing. Second thing is ratio. So I would like to start with the ratio. So the ratio of marks obtained by Biman and Daman in Hindi, the ratio of these two numbers is given as 16:9. So I'll assume these numbers as 16x and 9x respectively. This is the first thing that I have done. Okay, fine. Now focus and tell me, this will be a question for you. I'll go back to the first line. The marks obtained by Biman in Hindi is 20 more than marks obtained by Daman in history. So if Biman in Hindi is assumed as 16x, then what will be the score of Daman in history in the form of x using the first statement? That's it. I just need this much. So I'll repeat my question. Biman in Hindi, I have assumed as 16x. So tell me, what will be the score of Daman in history in the form of x? So Sangram says 16x minus 20. All right. All right. So since this number is more than this number by 20, so the other number will be less than this number by 20. Okay. So the marks of Daman in history will be 16x minus 20. Sangram, you are absolutely correct. Good. Okay. And Bhavani is also correct. Perfect. So let's move ahead and start working on Daman. Why Daman? Because now we have the marks of Daman. Two of them are in the form of x, and we also have the average, using which we'll be able to find out the total. So I'm now starting working on Daman. So Daman total will be 67 multiplied by 5. Okay, 67 is the average multiplied by 5. That will be 335. Okay, right? And it is the sum of these 5 numbers: 9x, 80, 80, 70, and 16x minus 20. So I'll write it here: 9x as it is, plus 80, 80, and 70. I'll add them up together: 230 plus 16x minus 20. So this is the equation that I have. Can you please help me with the value of x? Come on. So equation is on your screen. You just need to tell me what will be the value of x. Go ahead. Sangram, your equation and my equation are absolutely matching. Good. So last full length revision कब लोगे MBA CET की? So Dhanshri, if you are talking about Maharashtra CET exam, okay, so we have already started conducting the lectures on YouTube, right? So you can start watching these sessions, and we are trying to cover up each and everything which is a part of syllabus in these lectures. Okay. All right. So let's calculate the value of x. 335 plus 20. That is 355. 355 minus 230, that is 125, is equal to 25x. So the value of x comes out to be 5. Now I have the value of x. That means I have the marks of women in one missing subject. So women in Hindi, this score will be 16 into 5, that is 80. Right? So now I have the score of women in all the 5 subjects. What I need to do is I need to find out the average marks obtained by women in these 5 subjects. So go ahead, find out the average and post your answer in the chat box. So I'm calculating 80, 72, 75, 60 and 65. Okay. So 140, 220, 220, 340, 350, 352. Is it the sum 352? Please confirm. Is it the sum of the marks of women in all the 5 subjects? Right? So 352 divided by 5 should be 70.4. So 70.4, yes, it is among the options. And when we do such hard work, so much of hard work, so many calculations, we get the answer and matches with the options. See the sense of satisfaction, right? So we are happy, right? So we have the answer. 70.4 is the correct answer. Okay, let's move on and quickly finish up with the 4th question. If the marks obtained by Isha in English was 10 marks more than the marks obtained by Daman in maths. All right, all right. We have the marks of Daman in maths. Easy question this one is. Then find the average marks obtained by Isha. Quickly, not more than 1 minute. Okay, do we have the answer? All right, Sangram, that is fast, very quick, nice. So Sangram has the answer. And let's see if we have any other student. Vani says 64. Vani, 64 is not among the options. Anshi says option A. Khushi, 82, option A. All right. Shall we quickly finish up with this question? Yes, let's do that. Marks obtained by Isha in English, which is missing, was 10 more than marks obtained by Daman in maths. Now, Daman in maths, we have 80. 80 plus 10 is 90. So, marks obtained by Isha in English is 90. And we have to find out the average marks obtained by Isha. So, let's add up these numbers. 7 and 9, 16, and 9, 25, and 8, 33, 40. Okay. And 41. So 410 is the sum, is what I am getting. 410 divided by 5, and the value is 82. All of you, yes, all of us have the same answer. So 410 divided by 5, answer is 82. And yes, Sangram, Khushi, Ananya, Arzu, absolutely correct. Good. So 82 is the correct answer. Neeru, 82 is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's move on and look at one last question belonging to this set. Oh, actually skipped 90 and added. Oh, no problem. So you should not be doing that. Last question. The ratio of marks obtained by Daman in Hindi and history was 3:4. And the total marks obtained by Biman in Hindi was 80. Find the average marks obtained by all fives in Hindi. Oh, this is a difficult one. Not difficult, but time consuming. Now, I would not say that, again, I'll take my words back. This is not time consuming because we have already decoded the first part, the first sentence in, I believe, the first question. First question we did, we had the same ratio. Yes, Neeru, this one is easy. Go ahead, quickly give me an answer. Okay, so we have the answers, a lot of you, 65. And let's finalize this. So ratio of marks obtained by Daman in Hindi and history is 3:4. So I'll go back to the first question and pick up the marks from there. 3:4. So what were the marks that we obtained for Daman in Hindi and Daman in history? Can you please write those two numbers? What were these two numbers? All right. Yes, Mansi, I would take first number, which you have already mentioned, 45. And that's it. I don't require this second number. I don't want, but still I'll write it 60. So 45 and 60 were the two numbers. Okay. And this number, Biman in Hindi, is already given in the question as 80. Now I need to find out the average of all the 5 students in Hindi. So let's calculate the sum of the marks obtained by all the 5 students in Hindi. 65 and 80, 140, 200, 310, 320, 325 is what I am getting as the sum, divided by 5, and that should be 65. So 65, that is option D, should be the correct answer of this one. Okay, right? So that's all from this set, the first set that we have solved in our CAT concept builder classes for for the preparation of obviously CAT 2026. But the most important thing that we are doing here is building up our fundamentals, the concepts, all right, so that we don't have any kind of problem in the coming days when we'll be raising up the level of difficulty. All right. So friends, that is all from my side for the day. I hope you would have learned something. Now, the thing that you need to put more focus on is practice, because practice is the only thing that will help you in improving your speed. So if right now, if today while solving these questions, you were suffering in faster calculations, additions, multiplications, divisions, and you are wondering how the other students are solving it so fast, or how am I solving, the person whom you are watching here, so how sir is solving it so fast. So this is the game of practice. So you can improve your speed, you can build up your speed if you keep on practicing the same things again and again, the same type of calculations. Okay, so stop using calculators and start solving such basic calculations manually. Okay, right? So practice is the only thing that will help you in improving your speed. This is what I'm telling you right now. This is what I'll be telling you the entire session till CAT exam. Okay. So friends, thank you very much for being a part of this session. And Tanishka, please don't thank me. In fact, I want to thank all of you for being such a wonderful set of students. For being for to you were responding to each and every question that I was asking, and it was feeling as if I'm not teaching you guys online, but you all are sitting in front of me. Okay, so I'll see you in the next class, wherein we'll be looking at the next type of data set. So first of all, we'll get familiarized with the different types of data sets, and then we'll look at the same data sets with the higher level of difficulty. All right. So all the very best, and I'll see you again. Have a good night. Bye-bye.